Welcome back to East Coast DNA as we continue our road to Nova Scotia Music Week. This is
Darcy Walsh.
And I'm Andrew. This week we have Daniel James McFadyen. Right now we're listening to his 2020 song, Going Back, the Wolfville song. And if you guys are from here, you know Wolfville, and that proves he's an East Coast musician. From Ontario originally, but he's here now, so we're going to call him East Coast. He was nominated for Entertainer of the Year and the Folk Roots Recording of the Year for August, I'm Yours.
Thanks for having me.
So, a lot of the people we've been interviewing lately, by the time this is on, the last series was 5 dailies, and then before that we had like a 2-hour episode with 5 interviews in it. So they were all nominees for the Music Nova Scotia Awards this fall.
Nice.
And you were on the Entertainer of the Year nominees list that I was working my way down through there. And I saw that too when I was doing the research. You're down for the folk as well?
Yeah.
For folk recording of the year. So now you're a name that I keep hearing. And actually that may have made it into one of the interviews last week, because one of the artists I was interviewing said that too, that they keep hearing your name.
Oh, cool.
And funny thing too, when I had a couple little notes for research, and I was out at a show locally here the other night and ran into one of my music fan friends that I run into at concerts all the time. And they had mentioned your name by coincidence, with no idea that this interview was arranged. And they were singing your praises. They had seen you. They're quite a big fan. They'd seen you quite a few different locations. But I had mentioned that I had a little bit of research to do, and they spewed out a whole bio for you right there on the spot.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
So true fan there.
That's great.
Hello to Mike if you happen to be watching. Anyway, so your backstory, kind of the highlights. You're originally from Ontario?
Yep, Caledon, Ontario, so just outside of Toronto.
And what year did you, I will go back a little bit to the backstory, but what year did you move to Nova Scotia?
It would have been 2014, would have been the year I moved out.
Okay,
Yeah.
So 14's a key number there then, because it was the age of 14 when you traveled down here?
For the first time, yeah. So the first time I traveled, I was 14, and then 4 years later was the next time I came out, and since then I've been living out here.
Okay, and that trip when you were younger was inspirational for your big hit from the past year, the Wolfville song?
Yes, I'd say so. A lot of it came from traveling away and not really knowing after university where I wanted to stay and live. So I traveled around for a little while and working in Ontario for a little bit, and a couple different things that I was doing, and I just missed the East Coast, and then that's kind of when I moved back here. And it was around that time that I got more into recording, and yeah, I recorded that in Kentville, and then that's pretty much it. Yeah.
So your years in Ontario, were you a musician at the time? Like, were you playing there, or was it a hobby at all? Or?
It was on the side. So I came out here for university, and I'd always kind of played here and there, and I think we did one show in Caledon, kind of like an open mic kind of thing with my friend Dana years ago. And I really enjoyed it, but didn't really think that it was going to be something that was more than a side hobby. I went to school for business, and as I went through university, I was playing every Thursday night in a pub here, and I just started to really enjoy that, and played more and more. Started a little cover band here that I played 4 or 5 people, one of which is still playing with me, and he's out in BC. So I always kind of played on the side through school, and I think it was after school where I really kind of had to think, is this something I really want to do, and make the decision to try to kind of pursue it full time. And that happened, and then COVID hit. And
Yeah.
la-di-da. But it was after university that it became a little bit more serious, and so that was a few years ago now, 2018, 2019.
And now I'm assuming that was the University of Acadia then?
Yes, I was at Acadia. Yeah.
Okay. So you have a scene that you've built up down there of fans from playing those bars and that music scene for the last few years?
I'd say so. Yeah, it's been a great community out here, and a lot of people that I in that community of playing and coming to listen to the show, I've moved elsewhere, which has really helped. Those connections really helped the touring scene for me to be able to tour to different spots. I always see somebody who I went to school with, whether it's Calgary or Toronto or Ottawa. So a lot of people have moved away, but I still love to play here when I can, and yeah, still community out here, which is great. But a lot of people have moved away.
So now that song must have been popular enough that kind of push you into the new album. So did that just come out? It's a fall release.
Yeah, just because of COVID and the way that the awards have worked with having a year off and things being weird, it's eligible for this year, but it was released. The full album was released in October of last year.
Okay.
And then we've kind of been touring that record since. And yeah, with that song, that song specifically was on an older EP called Going Back. So that didn't make it on that album, but that song definitely was a big reason why I decided to do music more and make it more full time. So that did launch the music career in a big way. That song about Wolfville, and I was like, okay, this gonna be kind of done. And it was the first music video I'd made with my friends Wes and Bernie, and we're like, okay, this is really fun. We can do more of this, and it's just such a fun process. And it was great that it got some recognition, and a lot of people saw it that had gone to Acadia and connected with the Annapolis Valley or Wolfville or Acadia in some way or another, and it's pretty powerful.
Yeah, I was watching the video, the original video I had seen.
Yeah.
Probably when it came out from the podcast. I usually follow the new releases too, so I did remember seeing that original video. But when I was doing the research for this, the video I liked more. I think it might have been at the Axe. It was at a bar setting, a live recording of you playing.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
it was just that the audience was interacting a little bit, so it was a kind of a cool video, and a lot of you have a lot of video clips of you doing a lot of covers and stuff that I'm sure are incorporated into your live set.
Yeah, there's actually some of me like playing at 13 and 14 that I can't delete.
Yeah.
That was like a different account on YouTube, and I was like, it'd be great to like not have these prepubescent videos of me screeching in my vocals.
Well, any tech entrepreneurs out there, that's something I've been saying for years, is a scrubbing service would do wonders. People would pay a arm and a leg for that. Imagine if you could just pay somebody to make stuff go away.
That would be amazing. Yeah, if anybody's listening, let me know.
Invent it. We have our money waiting. So Hot Sun, that single, that's been doing pretty well too. I see it around on a few different playlists, and I've heard it a few times.
Yeah, that was really fun. That was the first time we've done a live off the floor recording. We recorded that in Dartmouth at a Fang recording studio. And that was really fun because it's the band I've been playing with for a while now. They've always just played songs that I've recorded in the past, and that was one of the first songs where they've worked out parts for, and we've sung it live quite a few times. And I did a recording of that without the band in Montreal. We kind of use as a demo that will probably eventually be released as kind of maybe bonus track somewhere. But it was really great. I really realized after that I wanted the energy of the whole band playing it with me, and the band that has been touring the song for a while. So that was really fun. It felt like more of a collaborative release than any releases in the past. And it was the first release I did under a label I worked with called Canary Minor Music. So Jordan's been really helpful in helping to place it on playlists. And yeah, it was really fun. And it's probably one of our favorite songs to play live. It's been a blast. It's been fun.
And with the Ontario connections, are you permeating an audience in both provinces?
Yeah, so we tour Toronto and Ottawa quite a bit. Try to go back once every 6 months or so, and it's been really great. It's a lot of friends that I've had from working outside of Ottawa. I worked at a summer camp growing up, so I have a community of people there that have been coming out to a lot of the Ottawa shows. Growing up outside of Toronto, and a lot of friends from Acadia went out there, so there's an audience that comes out for those shows as well. So that's kind of been our main focus recently is just try to get to Ontario as much as we can and doing that tour back and forth because there's only so many places to play in Nova Scotia. So that's been kind of the circuit for the last, I guess, 6 or 7 months or so, probably more than that, maybe last year. And the first time bringing out the band to Ottawa and Toronto was really fun too in June. That was the first time I kind of did a full band show. That was cool.
And going into Music Week, which is just a couple weeks away, will you be performing there with the full band then?
Yeah, I'm bringing out a 5-piece, and I think we're playing Thursday night of that at the Old Triangle. So my bassist Matt, we had a different time or date that weekend, but my bassist Matt plays with Tara Spencer as well.
Oh, okay.
So I want to go see Tara's showcase as well. So we switched that around recently. So
yeah, I'm having that problem with these interviews. Too many in a row. I was telling everybody, yeah, I'll go see you. Yeah, I'll go see you. And when you said Thursday, I'm like, I want to go. I think I already said that to 4 people playing on Thursday. So I'll have to see how the schedule falls. I think I'll be wandering around quite a bit when people are performing.
Yeah.
So what's the follow-up then from Hot Sun? You have a new single coming out, a new album coming out.
So yeah, there's quite a few things in the works right now. I'm working with a friend of mine named Dara Jessam. She's released a song that I helped produce called Bone Adventure, and she's just kind of starting out. She had her first show at the Carlton a few months ago, and we're doing some work together. So this week we're recording a little music video for a song that we recorded at Bang Recording. That will probably be the next release. We haven't set anything in stone for it yet, but it should be November-ish probably release, and it'll be another single that we both recorded and wrote. And then I've been back and forth to the studio in Montreal working with a producer named Quinn Bashand, and we've been working out just the two of us arrangements for a full album that we'll be working through next March and next summer, and a bigger project. And then I'm hoping to get an album or an EP out with the band that I play with, and just make it just with the band. So yeah, so there's quite a few things up and coming, and Dara and I are writing and recording more songs too. So yeah, there's a lot on the go, but the only thing that's kind of more set in stone is maybe not set in stone, but going to be released within the next year or so is the next album. Hopefully.
Yeah.
So that's kind of beginning stages, and yeah, that will be. I never really know. My answer probably changes week to week on when things are going to be released or what project is next, and but yeah, that's kind of the plan. Where I'm always writing and recording, so hopefully some stuff will be coming out in the next 4 months or so too.
And will that have you in the East Coast to do some live performances throughout the winter?
Yeah, I think the plan is May. I'm kind of taking it easy over the winter. We're doing we haven't announced the show yet, but it'll be coming soon. I'm playing it December 2nd at the Marquee with the Town Heroes.
Oh, cool.
So we're doing a double bill there, which I'm really excited about. And that'll probably be the last show until May or so in Nova Scotia. And then I'm working with Big Turnip Records to do a tour starting in May.
So now I have to go to that one if I'm not going to go to the Music Week one. Those are my opportunities,
exactly.
right?
Yeah. So that'll be really fun. And that's such a great stage. And the Town Heroes are awesome.
Yes.
So great to work with. They're just so fun. So I'm excited to do that. And also playing with adding a keyboard player to the band as well, which will be new, going on the November and December dates. Yeah.
Is this somebody that might be known to some of the podcast listeners, your keyboarders?
She's just kind of getting started. Her name's Christiane Tay. She's played with a band called Max Walton. They were a local band for a while, but she's just kind of getting her own stuff recorded now as well. So I think if we have this conversation in a year from now, yes, but yeah, but as of now, she's just kind of starting out.
And as far as kind of being like for your East Coast presence, building out of the Acadia area, you've obviously played the city as well. You mentioned a couple of venues there in the conversation as well. So around the East Coast area, do you have a favorite venue that you've performed at now?
I think for different things, it's different. So I've in terms of listening rooms, I think the Union Street, Carlton, Osprey Arts Center, haven't played that yet, but when I go out to Shelburne, it's so much fun. There's such a great little community out there. It's great, and I love small towns. So those are probably like the best listening rooms that I've played at. more like solo and small band. But for the full band, the Seahorse has been so much fun. We've done 2 shows at the Seahorse this year, and it was just, yeah, it was a blast. We did like a beach theme party in June, or like a release for Hot Sun, and or maybe it was July. And yeah, it was just great. We had like beach balls getting like kicked at us on stage, and just pool noodles everywhere, and it was just it was ridiculous, but really fun. So it's great. The Seahorse or the Marquee probably are like the most fun
Yeah, I don't
full
get there
band
enough,
venues.
but they're always good shows. There's always a
Where
good
where
time
where,
there.
where are you based out of?
I'm in Glasgow, Pictou County.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, we were over
You
there. Yeah, we were over there at the commune.
yes.
I don't remember when. At some point, twice this year, I think.
Yes, that
Uh,
that was a couple of the shows that Mike had mentioned when he was giving me your
uh,
little bio update there too.
oh,
So
no, was it Mike Dunning? Is that it?
yeah,
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 yeah.
there
See,
you go. He's
I figured he had said.
he's known to probably just as many people as I am now with the podcast. So
Yeah,
he's always at the shows.
he's been a great supporter. He was at the first time I met him. I played at a backyard at my friend uh, Jerry's house because I don't know if you know the Hollies. They're in New Glasgow, but the first time I played in Glasgow was just in the backyard for a party. He was out at that, so he's been coming out since then. That was probably 3 years ago now. But yeah, that makes been great.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And you've been through Pictou County, and you've mentioned your venues around the East Coast, but now for Ontario, is there anywhere that you would recommend to some of the other East Coast performers that they should be targeting for maybe touring out there?
I think if you're kind of playing as a bit of a rock, actually, the Cameron House has 2 rooms in Toronto that they have a front room that's more of like easy listening, similar to the Carlton, and then their back room is a more of a stand-up venue, rock stage kind of thing. So they're awesome. The Ferreros own that spot, and they've been really great to work with. Um, so that was a blast. We played there in June. We're playing at the Horseshoe Tavern in November.
The infamous Horseshoe Tavern.
Yes, the infamous Horseshoe Tavern. So I've been there to a couple shows there, and that's so much fun. It's just so much fun. So that's another good one. So we're excited. We're excited for that show.
Oh yeah, it's one that I haven't been to,
Mhm.
just because I'm so far away. I don't really have a reason to be in Ontario very often. But
Yeah, fair enough.
I've always heard anybody that ever went had a blast there, no matter what was happening that night. And any videos I've seen, the bands always look like they're having a great time there too. It seems like it's another one of those environments that's just it's a good time for a band to go out, and the audience is always kind of into it because they know what they're looking for, and
Yeah,
they go to the same spot for it all the time. So that's what's delivered there all the time.
yeah, it's like one of the few spots I think that have a very good like built-in audience of people who are just gonna trust that some decent music and the sound people are great there, and it always sounds nice. Like it's a trusted venue. It's
And
great. We
now
need more of those.
to kind of tie those two things together too, interview that we recently did on the podcast with Altered by Mom, they kind of had a different scenario where Gina was from Glasgow
Hmm.
and she's moved up to Toronto and has the band up there.
Hmm.
So when we were talking about the Ontario scene and the East Coast scene and places they've played and everything, I'd asked them about Montreal or Quebec in general. The whole region in between. You got Quebec and New Brunswick, I guess. How have you done as far as getting your music out in those areas?
Um, yeah, it's Montreal is kind of infamously hard
Mm-hmm.
to play in. There are lots of venues, and it's just figuring out where to play and what the right room is for you. So we're gonna in May go and see how shows go there. I played just a couple backyard concerts in Montreal. When I go through, good friends of mine live in NDG outside of Montreal or in Montreal, but um, that's been fun. Um, and like it shows in terms of listeners and stuff on Spotify, you can see what cities, and Montreal
Mm-hmm.
seems popular, but it's just been hard and no solid opportunities have presented themselves yet. So you just it's a lot of groundwork to get a show done there. They just have so many people and such a great, vibrant arts and music scene
Yeah.
that like no one's gonna be knocking at your door. I mean, like we gotta book you.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you gotta reach out to quite a few people to make it happen. But there's a couple venues that we're gonna approach for a show in May or June. And New Brunswick, we played in Fredericton at the ECMAs, and that was such a blast. And it's just we're hoping to get back there soon and figure it out. We've played in some random bars throughout New Brunswick over the years, and played in Salisbury. But New Brunswick seems great. It's just about building an audience there and playing. I think with every city, you kind of start with a smaller show, start with a house show, and then build off that. And every time try to maybe grow the venue a little bit. And we just, I guess, haven't paid as much attention to New Brunswick and Quebec as we have with Ontario, Nova Scotia, PEI, and a little bit Newfoundland.
So I suppose these nominations are probably going to help you with that a little bit too, because the name's out there, and I mean, best of luck.
Yeah,
I am saying that to everyone. I did have a couple people in both of those categories that we've interviewed the last couple weeks too. So I do wish everyone the best of luck.
Yeah.
And I do hope to catch you down there. But if I don't make the live set, I'll definitely keep an eye out for you while I'm on site. Maybe we can catch up and see what you're doing down there that weekend.
Please let me know. That'd be great. I love that.
And definitely reach out to us in the spring when you're getting ready for new album and tour dates and everything like that.
Cool.
And
yeah.
Let us know what's going on. We'll get a little update from you.
That sounds great. That's great.
Thank you for your time.
So much. Yeah, thanks for having me.
We'll have a little blurb for my brother and I, and I think we'll play out with Hot Sun.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you.
And that was Darcy talking to Daniel James McFadyen once again. And we're trying to reorganize our online presence, but the things that are going strong is Instagram. So you can find us on Instagram. Our link tree is down below. You can find the link in there. And we're going to start pushing the Discord again. Join our Discord. It's down there. We have a bulletin board to post your shows, place to post your music videos, trying to get East Coast musicians to kind of get in there and share their art. So what's up next week for East Coast DNA, Darcy?
We're going to continue on a little further with our road to Nova Scotia Music Week. We have one more interview that's already in the bank there. We got to finish off the episode with our own little notes. And on that episode, we'll get into a little bit more detail on what we're going to do the week leading into Music Week and Music Week itself, what kind of coverage we'll have, and what you can expect to find from our podcast as well. So as Andrew was saying, follow us on all of our social media. And you can also catch Daniel at Music Week itself this year on the Thursday night, opening night. He's first up at the Old Triangle. The doors open at 6:30 and his performance starts at 7.
Perfect. And playing us out is his single, Hot Sun. We'll catch you next time. Keep rocking. That's my new thing. Let me know what you think in the comments. Bye.
I love it.
I've been learning to walk with 2 shoes while left around 8, got back around 8. The bar's closed up and the liquor store moved, so I guess I'll wave around for you. There's a man on the corner sniffing gasoline. I was looking at him, so he was looking at me. I asked if his car was a 93, and all he said was no. I've been waiting in the hot sun. I called my little baby, said I won't be long. It's too far to walk, and I'm too stoned around. I'll probably see her on another night. On moving to a quieter place. There are 7 motels not a mile away, but no one inside and nowhere to stay, so I jumped on the bus 14. When I came to, I was wide awake. It was a whole new town with a whole new name. I jumped off the bus, there was nothing to see but a stray dog eating a dead dog's meat. I've been waiting in the hot sun. I called my little baby, said I won't be long. It's too far to walk and I'm too stoned around. I'll probably see her on another night. TV, saw a woman with a hat about as tall as me. I saw a big sign said, enjoy your stay in the capital of where the hell are we? I jumped in a truck, sir, drive me home. Well, I know it's pretty far, but I'm cold and alone. He said, boy, your house is 2 blocks away, but I'm happy to drive you home anyway. I'm waiting in the hot sun. I called my little baby, said I won't be long. It's too far to walk and too stone to run. I'll probably see her on the